Hello, Kindred Spirits, and welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and today we are going to be diving into your month of September for the biggest blessings coming forward, as well as looking into Virgo season. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so welcome back, my beautiful kindred spirits, and anyone new who's joining us here on the channel today. It is truly lovely to have you guys back here. It's been, 3-4 weeks since I have filmed, which feels so foreign to me. It's been so long since I've seen you guys. If you guys haven't been paying attention to the updates that I've been putting out on my Instagram as well as over on my channel, we had a bunch of flooding that happened recently due to a lot of storms coming forward and also some foundational things going on. So we've put a bit of a band-aid on the situation, and it's been working so far, so I've been able to film again. But just letting you know, if I suddenly disappear, it's because the room in which I'm filming in right here has been experiencing flooding, and so it's made it very difficult to film and to be able to bring these videos to you all. So until we can properly fix the situation, hopefully the band-aid really works out for us. But I just wanted to keep you guys updated because I really missed you guys. So we are going to be looking into your September blessings, of course, as well as looking into Virgo season. So happy birthday to anyone who's Virgo out there. We're going to look at each of the piles here in a moment, but if you would like to support the channel, support this space a little bit as we've been going through this flooding situation, or to be able to support yourself as well with the offerings that I provide, then definitely feel free to check out the snail mail readings that I do, where I send a letter to you in the mail. It's typewritten on a vintage typewriter from the 1970s, wax sealed closed for your eyes only, on any question or query that's been on your mind, where I can really dive deep into it personally for you. And if you're also interested in looking into the magical spell and ritual papers that I do, I have Mabon papers that I have handmade myself to help within your Mabon rituals. And I also have Samhain ones as well if you want to go ahead and get ahead of the game and purchase them together. So feel free to reach out or email me with more questions, or to reach out if you're interested. I have more information down below on my Instagram for helpful and honest reviews and all of that. So feel free to check it all out if you'd like to. And if you'd also be interested in checking out the Kindred tip jar, feel free to check that out as well down below in the description, as everything that goes into there goes right back into the channel for decks and supplies here, as well as other means of keeping this channel running. So with that all said, let's go ahead and look at the piles. So we have 3 different piles here reflecting the change of the seasons as we start heading through September. So here for pile number 1, there is this piece of green Aventurine. I love this little piece. It's just so calming. So that is pile number 1. For pile number 2, there's this yellow piece of Aventurine. So if you're feeling the yellow, then you might be feeling this one for pile number 2. And last but not least here for pile number 3, there's this piece of orange Carnelian with all these little crackles. So if you're feeling this crackly Carnelian, then that is pile number 3. So as always, before we start heading into the piles and before you start heading to the timestamps, I like to take and invite you to take a deep and cleansing breath here with me in just a moment, so you can really connect with your intuition, connect with each of the piles, call in your guides however you wish. But let's go ahead and take a deep breath together here now. And there are no wrong or right ways to choose your piles here. You can choose all 3 of the piles, you can choose one pile, or take bits and pieces from each of them. There really are no rules to this. All the timestamps will be down below in the description, so it's easy and clear to find, as well as through the chapter marks of this video. And like I mentioned earlier, while you're down in the description, feel free to check out all the different offerings I provide for snail mail readings, magical spell and ritual papers, the Kindred tip jar, and more. So all of that will be down there in case you're curious, but we're going to go ahead and get started here with pile Number 1. Hello group 1. If you've decided to choose this piece of green Aventurine, then this is the pile for you, as we are going to be looking into your month of September, looking into the biggest, highest energies coming forward for the month, but we're also going to be looking into Virgo season, relationship cards, as well as the bigger picture things that are going on with blessings or energy most in your favor this month. So we're going to be doing all of that with the charms, as well as several different oracle decks here, and the main tarot deck being the Everyday Witch Tarot, perfect for this season. So feel free to get yourself cozy and settled for this. I'll have all of this listed down below in the description in case you're curious what supplies and decks I'm using here today. But we are going to go ahead and begin, so definitely feel free to start sending your energy in and really connecting with the cards in the deck so that we can pull 3 cards to look into the main themes and energies here first. So here we go. Group 1, main themes and energies coming forward for group 1 here. What do we got going on for group 1? So you have the Ace of Pentacles, as well as the 3 of Wands. Very, I love the sunny energy behind both of the figures in these cards. And then there's also the 6 of Swords. So we're moving from this really sunny energy to kind of something that feels a little bit more unknown with the moon. The moon usually represents and is a big representation of something that's unknown, something that has a bit of mystery to it, a bit of flair to it as well. And that unknown is usually, in this case, at least with the 6 of Swords, something that you're looking forward to, even if it's a little bit nerve-wracking or slightly scary. It's still kind of exciting. So we have the 3 of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, 6 of Swords. This is a really exciting spread. The 3 of Wands showcases that right now you are in a place in which you can really lift off. So, right, you've already done the planning that the 2 of Wands can represent. It represents planning and getting things ready to go and preparing for things, whereas the 3 of Wands is we've already prepared, we've got the backpack, I've got all the things that I need to get started on a project, to move forward towards a goal or a vision in your mind that you've had for a while, especially something that you're actually actively preparing for or have been actively preparing for, whether it's, like I said, a project, a hobby, a skill, a dream, a goal, an aspiration, something you're just genuinely excited about. Whatever that is, it's time to set sail. This is you setting sail. This is you making those preparations and actually putting action to them. It's not just getting the knapsack all ready to go and the backpack ready to go. It's actually going out the door. And what is it that you've probably got going on here with that potential energy to start getting out into the world and actually putting action towards your goals and the projects that you have? The project that you're probably putting action towards is something related to both the 6 of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles here. The Ace of Pentacles represents, and any ace really in the deck represents, a seed, something that you are ready to grow, to nurture, to grow. And what it is that you're nurturing to grow is related to the Pentacle suit, which is the earthly things in our life. So, your home, something that you're working on for maybe a house project, a new career, a new job, new financial opportunity, a project that you're working on or skill you're learning. These are the things that we're thinking about. It also can be related to your health or to your body as well, so fitness or your personal health in that way, or your mental health, but usually this relates more to your physical health. So that's the seed that you're planting. That's the thing that you've been preparing. This is the seed you've been already working on, and this is you actually putting true action towards it. Because you do have the action happening before the seed, it does tell me that yes, you have been preparing, but maybe there's still some extra preparations you could be working on over this next month, things that maybe you've forgotten or missed, or things that just you have to put action towards before you can continue to plant some of these seeds. And sometimes it doesn't always work in this perfect order that the tarot shows. Life is messy, so feel free to allow yourself to have weird delays or to have odd things happen to your plans, even if you're prepared for them, because that's okay, especially with this unknown feeling that you have going on here with the moon of the 6 of Swords. The swords represent a mindset shift. right here we can actually see them physically going on a journey, and there can be a physical aspect to this, especially because we talked about so much physical things happening with the earthly pursuits here. But this tells me that you're going to have this mindset shift, this again, there might be delays that happen, things that get in your path, the wind of change coming in and kind of sweeping you up off your feet. But if you follow that wind, if you just see where those delays take you and maybe see them as a positive opportunity in your life rather than a negative or something that is to be a roadblock, I think you're actually going to benefit from the Six of Swords energy quite a lot. You know, when we set sail on some new goal or some new dream or aspiration of ours, it's not going to always go to plan, right? We're going to put things out there. We're going to send out those emails. We're going to try for things. We're going to network. We're going to do what we have to do to make things happen. And we're going to have things that are going to show up and become delays, roadblocks, or potential walls in our way. But it is showcasing that these unknowns that are going to show up are definitely guaranteed to show up, but it seems that you're not going, if you follow them and see them as a positive rather than a negative and shift that mindset there, I think you're actually going to get a lot more potential energy out of this change, out of these shifts, and have more opportunities show up in your lap that you weren't expecting, but are actually going to be more beneficial to you in the long run. It's kind of like when you say got stood up at a date, but then you find your potential partner by still going to for having gone, right? There's a little hidden opportunity in a delay that I think you're really going to find beneficial to you in this coming month. So allow the delays to happen and see where they take you rather than let them become these stubborn roadblocks or to push you off your path in a negative way. So that's kind of the energy that you have going on here. There's a lot of opportunity for travel as well, just in general. And there's also opportunities for some financial success going on here, in terms of networking and putting yourself out there. So those are the things that I'm really seeing here for the month of September. Let's go ahead and see what else you have going on for a blessing card coming forward. So we're going to be pulling a card here to look into a blessing that you have coming in for the month, but you can also see this as just an energy most in your favor as well. So let's see what that blessing or energy most in your favor is this month. Ooh, group 1, you've got peace. This is really nice because that mindset shift that I was talking about could be something that really throws you off, could really put you in a situation in which you're really down about it, or it could put you in a situation that throws you off your action and the aspiration and ambition that you have going into it. It could totally derail your motivation. But because you have the peace card here, it's showcasing to me that you're just allowing what comes and letting go of trying to push things to happen a certain way or piecing the puzzle a certain way, and just allowing things to kind of go like a river. It's just flowing through. What flows in, what flows out. What needed to come to me is going to come to me, and what doesn't is going to trickle its way downstream. So there's this really peaceful feeling, of course, from this card, and there's also this feeling too of grace, giving yourself an opportunity to not be so perfectionist about things as well, and seeing what just comes on its own. I feel like this card doesn't need a lot of explaining, but it's really nice to see for you guys at the center of your spread. So let us go ahead and look at relationships now. We haven't really had a lot talking about relationships outside of co-working with someone or networking and things like that, but in terms of personal relationships, I would love to see what else you guys have going on for your month of September. Group 1. Ooh, potential. Interesting, because that's kind of a word I was throwing out, potential opportunities coming forward to you that you weren't expecting. So maybe those roadblocks are going to come from something related to relationships, or related to a personal relationship of yours, and there being a potential for someone to help you out or to help you in this situation. So if you start to find yourself feeling a bit negative about a change or a roadblock that shows up or a delay, there is the potential for maybe an opportunity to be able to connect further with people in your life, whether that's a coworker or someone you work with or are networking with, or it could also just be a personal relationship in which you are having the potential to, you had to stay home that night, so maybe now you got to have a game night with your friends and your family. Maybe you were able to reconnect with people you haven't got to see in a while because an opening opened up. So maybe it's not related to an opportunity here where that mind shift is happening, or this opportunity is coming in, but maybe something in personal relationships that maybe you've kind of put to the side. It says here, potential, the littlest key can open the heaviest door. And that's really true. Sometimes the simplest way is going to be the easiest. And sometimes we try to, the heaviest doors seem insurmountable, but sometimes it's just small little things that we need to help us, especially things that are already available to us. So maybe you could also have someone who has experience in something you're working towards, that you're putting this seed out for, that you're working, whether that's a fitness goal or something in career, something that you're trying to do that you feel inspired and motivated for, whatever it may be. If you find yourself coming across a wall, definitely look out for other people who have experience in it in your own personal family, friends, and coworkers who could help you, because it really does seem like there's a simple answer or a simpler fix. So we already have your main themes. We've got your blessing, and we already looked into a bit of your relationship side. But of course, I want to look into Virgo season as well and ask a question out to the cards to see if there's something that you could be working on in terms of Virgo season. So you don't have to be a Virgo, and if you are a Virgo, happy birthday to you out there. But what I want to say about Virgo season is it's a really good potential season for you to really start to organize. Like I said, you already seem like you've gone through a lot of planning and things towards the goals that you have going on here, but maybe there's something else you could be organizing in your life, or trying to better analyze or put a little bit more reflection towards over these next few weeks that Virgo season has. It's a really good time to organize, plan, and to kind of think things through when it comes to your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, how life is going. So this is kind of just going to give you a bit of a question or a way in which to look towards any future planning you want to partake in. So let's see what card comes forward for Virgo season. This could also just be a focus for you as well. It doesn't have to be as deep. Okay, so you have the black-footed ferret with the keyword of takeover. This is also from the claim suit, which is all about reclaiming your power and reclaiming parts of yourself that maybe you've lost along the way. And it says here, and I like to use this as a good time to journal, so feel free to journal on this question. Is it time to reclaim and reinvent the structures in my life? So there may be, this question may be prompting you to maybe look at some of the structures and ways in which you kind of organize your life and set your life going right now when it comes to home, career, family, friends. Like I said earlier, maybe there's something going on where friendship is sort of lacking, or being those close personal relationships are maybe lacking in your life because you've been so focused on all of these goals and dreams and like hyper focused on them that maybe you've not been taking the time to really connect with those around you. So maybe that's something that you could journal on or think about and see if there's a structure in which you could bring them back in a little bit more. Maybe there's something else in your life where you feel like there's an imbalance there that you could be looking over. Reclaiming energy, reclaiming people, reclaiming structures in your life, as well as reinventing them in ways in which you might benefit. So this is a good time to analyze this question and really look into it and see if there's a way in which you could take over some of the things in which you maybe lost along the way, especially for Virgo season. So I want to finish off your reading by pulling some charms and seeing what the charms have to say as well. So I'm going to pull some charms. It might be a little bit clunky here because I got like a little injury to my finger, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm going to pull some charms here, so feel free to have a little look-see here, and I'll pull some for you. Okay, interesting. That particular penny was like, I need to come out. So, interesting that it like just sort of circled here for a while on, is it time to reclaim and reinvent the structures in my life? And the thing that you got here is like the maple leaf for a Canadian coin here. It's a 1 cent coin. And it fell here showcasing, one, it fell on the head side, which showcases to me that like, one, it's, like reclaiming power, but also this usually represents travel. And you did have a travel card come up here, and I talked about it briefly, but maybe there's also an opportunity for you to travel to, whether it's traveling for work or if it's traveling for a personal reason or a personal getaway of your own. There is an opportunity for you to maybe reclaim something that you lost when it came to maybe time to travel, or maybe an opportunity shows up for you. Maybe an opportunity that you lose opens up the opportunity and time for you to maybe travel or to consider it. So these are things to consider as you move forward around travel. You also have here the music note, or not the music note, the treble clef showing up here on the black-footed ferret over by their ear, something that they're listening to. So there also is something about music being a really good motivator, as well as an opportunity for you to maybe even reclaim some music tastes or something related to music tastes. Maybe you were told you weren't able to listen to this music growing up, or maybe it's a song you haven't listened to in a really, really long time, but because it came up during Virgo season, it's like changed your perspective on things. It could be something really big, or it could be something really small of you just wanting to reorganize your music collection. Whatever it may be, there's something going on here around music, melody, songs and signals coming forward, something you're listening out for. And then you also have over here on the dove here for peace, the little trees. It says since 1952, in case that date has a significance to you, or the numbers. But the little trees, this is like an air freshener, that you'd get in a car. And so when I think of this one, it shows that this is like a really fresh energy coming forward for you. And of course, a peaceful energy seems very freshening. So maybe it's a really, maybe you've been going through some stress these last few months, and this is showcasing that you're getting a fresh start. You're starting fresh, like new car energy. Maybe literally there's peace around something related to home projects or cars or repairs that were needed, and you're finally getting a little bit of peace of mind there. Something around that. And it's interesting that you had over here a connection to the Six of Swords, and what they're carrying is the headphones. So more to do with music, or listening, or being and paying attention to something. In this case, I usually think of the headphones as like a charm to showcase that you're like not listening, right? Because you got like the noise canceling headphones on, you're not listening to something, and it fell on all the swords here in their backpack as they travel out. And so if we're looking at it from that sense, and not just the music relation, it can showcase that you're going to have maybe a bit of a trouble, that's funny, treble, a bit of trouble relating to wanting to venture out on something, or having trouble with that mindset shift. So I think that's going to be your biggest difficulty when it comes to this. Like, you're not wanting to think differently. You're like, oh, but this sucks, and this didn't work out, and it didn't go the way I planned, and it could totally throw you off, because you kind of got your headphones on, you've got a blindfold on, you're stuck in tunnel visioned into this idea that it's actually something negative for you, when actually there's a lot of positive reasons if you just listen out and try something out from a different perspective, reinvent the way in which you think things through. I think that would make a big difference. But those are all of the charms and cards that I have here for your month of September, as well as Virgo season. I hope you did enjoy this and you got something out of it. Thank you so much for hanging out here with me today, especially since I've had several weeks looking into and figuring out the flooding situation that we had going on in this filming space. But thank you so much for the patience that you've had, and thank you for coming back regardless. And I'm really wishing you the best. So feel free to check out all the different ways you can subscribe to this channel or check out the other videos that I have on this channel if you're interested. And also, if you'd like to get a snail mail reading or look into other ways in which you can get magical spell and ritual papers for Mabon, or looking into the other paper sets that I offer, feel free to check all of that information down below and through my Instagram. It's a great way to support this space, and I'd really appreciate you checking it out. So thank you so much for being here with me today, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 2, if you've decided to choose this piece of yellow Aventurine, then this is the pile for you, as we are going to be looking into your month of September, looking into the biggest, highest themes coming forward, as well as the blessings or energies most in your favor this month for relationships as well. And we're also going to be looking into Virgo season, so happy birthday to anyone who's a Virgo out there. But as a reminder, the season is for everyone, so it's going to affect us all regardless of your sun sign. But we're going to be looking into this with the charms as well as several different oracle decks, and the main tarot deck being the Everyday Witch Tarot. Perfect as we start heading towards fall. Definitely feel free to get yourself cozy and settled and comfy for this. Call in your own guides or connect with your own intuition. But all of the different decks and supplies that I'm using here today will be listed in the description down below in case you are curious. But let us begin by looking into the cards. So feel free to really connect with the deck, connect with the cards, send your energy in. It's really lovely to be back with you guys here today. But we're going to pull 3 different cards here looking into those main themes and energies coming forward for you. So group 2 here. What are the main themes and energies coming forward for group 2 for the month of September? What do they have going on? So you have the 6 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles, as well as the 7 of Swords. What an interesting selection here. A 2, a 6, and a 7. 6 being harmony, 7 kind of throwing us off, 2 of Pentacles throwing us off in a different way. I feel like this month you're going to be going down an interesting path, a bit of a rabbit hole here with the 6 of Cups. So the 6 of Cups is at the heart of the reading. So this is the card that's coming forward most. And the 6 of Cups is all about, as you can see, like a give and take. The 6s usually represent harmony and a give and take of some sort. But in this case, the cups represent our emotions. So in this case, you are giving your emotions to another person, which doesn't necessarily make sense. But what I usually think of this as is kind of looking back on things, feeling nostalgic, or also just feeling like you want to help someone in your life, or are receiving help from someone in your life who wants to, cherish you, make you feel good, wants to lend a hand and help you feel a little bit better, even if they can't fix anything or change anything around your emotional state or how things are going for you in your life. It seems like you're going to have someone who at least has your back, someone who at least wants to be there for you, or at least make it so you don't have to be so alone in some of the harder times, and also to celebrate the good times too, right? Emotions go all different directions, so even when you're having really good emotions and the height of things, they also want to be there for that too. And so it really feels like either you are asking for the help and wanting to receive that, or you are receiving a lot of opportunities in which you could help others in your life who are going through similar or difficult situations that maybe you've even experienced in your life, and you can give a bit of wisdom, give a little bit of help. I always get like this older brother, younger sister kind of feeling to this as well, like passing down wisdom and passing down coping mechanisms and ways to help others in our lives who are younger than us or have less experience in something in which you've experienced in the past. So I feel like this could go both ways. There's a reciprocity to the 6s in tarot, and in this case I really feel like there's and there's even lotuses here which represent coming from the muck and making the best out of it. And I feel like the best way to make the best out of a mucky situation is at least to not have to be alone in it. And I really feel like you're not going to be alone this month, that someone's going to be there for you, or you're able to be there for someone else. That is the heart of your reading. What's interesting though, what is kind of on the sidelines of this is you have the Two of Pentacles here, and the Two of Pentacles showcases a balance. It feels like trying to balance things that are quite difficult to balance. As you can tell, they're on like what is this called, a teeter-totter. They're trying to balance these things, they're super focused on it, and then a cat jumps over and like throws them off. So it's showcasing, just because you focus, just because you put all your energy into trying to make something work, doesn't mean that there aren't going to be pitfalls, delays, things that just get into our path, because that is just life, right? It doesn't matter how much you try to balance things. It doesn't matter how much you try to put all your focus into making sure that things go right. Something is probably going to throw a wrench into the mix. And it's how you work with that. And the fact that this is showing up on the side of like the more experienced person in the Six of Cups here, it's showcasing to me that this is kind of the wisdom that they're bringing to you, or you're bringing to someone else, is how to balance their life, how to balance the teeter-totter of things that are going on. As what they're experiencing is more of the Seven of Swords, or you're experiencing. Kind of depends on who you're feeling, if you're feeling more of the experienced one or the person receiving the help here. But the Seven of Swords for the person receiving the help is showcasing a very interesting scene. I love this depiction of the Seven of Swords because it can kind of look like they're like stealing, or they're thieving, or a thievery going on, or something where there is a little bit of you're not sure what's happening here. But they also could just have like been cleaning them and the window is open and it just bring a gust of wind and they're putting them back, right? We don't know what's happening in the scene, and that's the whole point. The Seven of Swords showcases mystery. It showcases sometimes jumping to conclusions or judgments way too quickly. And it also showcases needing to get the facts. And so it also showcases to me that this person maybe emotionally is going through a situation in which they are jumping to facts, jumping to conclusions and to judgment very quickly of themselves or others in their lives. And it's throwing them off. That's the wrench that's been thrown into their life. And maybe you've had experience with this, or you understand the situation from an outside objective point of view and are able to give them a much better point of view. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is that over the coming month, and this is very kind of specific, over the coming month, I really just think that either you or someone else in your life is receiving help, either from you or by you, around a situation in which one of you are feeling very judgmental and jumping to conclusions, as well as this off-balance feeling. It also can showcase just in general in your life, you might be experiencing some roadblocks and some mystery around things that are going on for the month, that this is a really good time to research things, make sure you get your facts in order, and also making sure that if you get some roadblocks, to not try to take them too seriously. You're going to fall off the teeter-totter, but you're going to be able to get back up. The Two of Pentacles isn't a huge wrench, it's just an inconvenience. And at least if you're going to be inconvenienced, you're not going to be alone this month, that you're going to be able to laugh it off with people who really care. So let's go ahead and see what you got going on for your blessing card. So this is going to be looking into a blessing on its way into you from a spirit guide or otherwise. Or you can see this, if that doesn't really resonate with you, you can see this also as just a card showcasing an energy most in your favor. So let's see what that is for you, group 2, for the month of September. An energy most in your favor, or a blessing on its way in for you. Ooh, we have finding. Interesting. I usually see the finding card as like, obviously a lost and found feeling to it, but I just love the way that they embrace themselves. Like, you're finding something out about yourself that maybe you've forgotten, or you've forgotten your strength, your courage, your bravery, your compassion, whatever it may be. There's something about yourself that you're finding again and reconnecting with again that you've lost for a while. And it's going to feel really nice. It's going to feel really wonderful to have this piece of yourself back. Maybe you just feel like it's a past version of yourself that you're embodying in a very positive light. Maybe it's a hobby or skill that you lost over time and are kind of reconnecting with. Maybe it's reconnecting with a friend or someone whom you haven't seen in a while, who kind of shows up randomly into your life and actually could be a good roadblock for you, right? There's a lot of different ways that this finding card can come in, but I like it. It also can showcase too on a very simple level. Like if you lost your keys, you lost that book you were looking for, you lost something else in your life, you might just find it this month. It also can be very literal. So see where that takes you as we move through the month. Let us also look at some relationship cards. So I want to pull a card or two looking into relationships in your life. It'd be very interesting if you kind of know what this dynamic is and send that energy in to see if we can get more information. But it also can just showcase too any kind of relationship in your life, whether it's a spiritual one, a familial one, coworkers, friends, however you want to see it, even a romantic relationship. So let's see just what's going on a general sense for relationships for the month of September. Group 2. For the month of September, group 2. I keep feeling one and then it moves away from me. Okay. All right, so we have success, bloom where you are planted. And then I'm also going to pull this one as well, as you also have surprises. So you have success, bloom where you are planted. This little, I believe is a daffodil. And you also have surprises with this little bunny here, and it says, venture down the rabbit hole. So especially with that surprise that comes forward, like I was talking about earlier, I felt like someone might surprise visit or kind of throw a wrench in your plans, but it could be in a very positive light of finding someone or meeting back up with someone in a way you weren't expecting. That might be coming in for you as well. So maybe expect some surprise visits or surprise invitations even from people which you haven't talked to in a while or in ways you weren't expecting. And then with success, bloomer where you are, wherever you are planted, this tells me too that you are in a very good situation when it comes to your friendships and your family or your chosen family, the people that are really close to you, that you really feel respect you and care for you. You're going to find a lot of success in relationships this month, and that's really lovely to see as well on a very simple level, right? Simple, but very nice to hear. So to finish off your reading before we do the charms, I want to pull one card looking into Virgo season. And this is going to be showcasing to us this is going to be showcasing to us what might be coming in for you for Virgo season in the aspects of Virgo season and what it brings forward. And what I want to look into is the organization side of Virgo season for us, right? It's a great time to analyze things, to journal, to look back and reflect so that we can continue to grow. Like Virgos are really good at analyzing things and finding the flaws, but also finding the positives in order to continue to grow. And so I really want us to focus on maybe a question or a journaling question for you for the month of Virgo season. So what's great about these cards is they always showcase a bit of a journaling aspect to it. So let's see. Group 2. Ooh, you have the honeybee. It says here, sweeten as its main message here with what is mine to share. And this is perfect because we just talked about like sweetening a situation that feels kind of mucky and no good, and wanting to kind of sweeten that situation for someone, make it feel a little bit better. How can you continue to sweeten a situation for yourself as well? And make it, again, you throw a wrench into your plans, but maybe it's actually really good in the long run. It's interesting because both this pile as well as pile 1 had very similar energies when it came to that like delays and plans coming forward in different ways, but it's still interesting that this is kind of a thread for everyone this month so far. I'm curious if it'll show up in pile 3, but yeah, this is a great one for you to journal on. What is mine to share? What is mine to share on an emotional level, a physical level, a financial level, whatever you would like, but looking at it from different perspectives as well and analyzing that could be really helpful to help sweeten your relationships and help you to continue to grow. So I really like that one coming forward, especially since bees really work in a hive and they work together as well, showcasing that, things are stronger and better in numbers as well, with people who really work well together. So let's finish off your reading by pulling a few charms. I'm going to pull them. We're going to see how this goes. I injured my finger, so we'll see how the pokey charms go, but we're going to pull some for you today, so feel free to have a little combo with them, and I'll pull some for you. Okay. What's interesting is this rock just really wanted to come out, and I fell on surprises, ventured down the rabbit hole, and what you got here is, some people see this as a mountain. I actually had my dad choose a rock to put in my set because I always see him, and a lot of us see him as our rock in our family, the person who really just is very stable, like a mountain. And so there is this stability feeling to it with surprises and stability that seems like a juxtaposition of themes. But it also could just be like related to family surprises, someone coming in on a chosen family kind of level, or like a father figure or grandfather, someone down a more mask side of things. Regardless, the rock in your life coming forward and surprising you in ways you weren't expecting. You also have over here on finding, you have the what's it called? The anchor showing up here. But it's interesting because what I saw when I first picked this up is it says use opener at the very bottom. And it makes me think that like this is you prying open something that you need to find, whether that's through journaling, like I talked about earlier, or through maybe someone else prying those emotions up, prying something up that you needed to be able to see and find about yourself through a different perspective, and maybe by asking for some help on an emotional level that might be coming forward and have a link there. You also have the sacral chakra coming forward here for you as well, and it kind of rolled off because it rolls, but it fell towards the mysterious card of the Seven of Swords, of not having all of the information. And it also showcases that like the person who's maybe needing some help is going to kind of want to definitely judge themselves in ways that are hard to unravel, is what I'm getting here, because they're getting very creative with the ways in which they find themselves spinning a different tale in their own mind compared to the objective point of view that you'd have. And there's also here on sweeten, you have the knight charm. Makes me think of like a knight in shining armor coming forward here, a feeling of someone wanting to help you and sweeten things for you. But also this does represent a lot of the time taking a different path or going down a different situation, a different scenario than you were expecting, because the knight in chess is one of the only pieces that can one hop over other pieces, and also can go in very distinctly different ways than the others, where they do a lot of sidestepping. So this also can tell me too that again, someone in your life who's coming forward, who's a rock in your life, may surprise you in ways you weren't expecting, going around in different directions than you were expecting. So overall, those are all of the charms and cards that I have here for your month of September, as well as Virgo season. I really hope you got something out of it, and if you did, it would be amazing, especially since I've missed a few videos, to help up the algorithm by giving this video a like, as well as letting me know what you thought of the reading and how y'all are doing, really, because I haven't talked to you guys in a while. So feel free to comment down below as well. And if you're interested in subscribing, if this is one of your first or a couple of first videos here on the channel, then definitely feel free to subscribe, as I have lots of others you can check out for educational videos and more charm casting and things. And if you're interested in supporting this channel financially even more, as well as supporting yourself through the offerings I provide for snail mail readings or the Kindred tip jar, or even through getting your own magical spell and ritual papers for your own art magic, then feel free to check out all the information on that down below and through my Instagram, or sending me a message through an email, as I'd love to send more information your way. But with that all said, thank you so much for hanging out here with me today. And for those of you who've come back, thank you so much. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 3, if you've decided to choose this piece of orange carnelian, then this is the pile for you, as we are going to be looking into your month of September for the biggest, highest energies coming forward, for relationships and blessings, and we're also going to be looking into Virgo season. So if you're a Virgo out there, happy birthday to you. And if you're not a Virgo, this also is still going to apply to you, as every season is still one we all experience. So we're going to be doing this with the charms as well as several different oracle decks here, and the main tarot deck being the Everyday Witch Tarot, one of my favorites for this portion of the year heading into fall. So feel free to get yourself cozy, settled, comfy for this. I'll have all of the different decks and supplies here listed as always down below in the description for you to check out if you're curious. But yeah, feel free to put your intuition cap on, call in your guides, get cozy and settled with a little blanket or a cup of tea, and also send your energy into the cards. It really does make a difference. And we will see what's going on for you for the month of September. We're going to pull 3 cards here, looking into those main themes and energies. So, pile 3 here. You have the World, the number 21 here, an ending. You also have the Lovers showing up here as well with number 6, harmony. And you also have the Knight of Pentacles showing up here as well. Interesting set of cards. So let's just look at these for a second. The heart of your reading is showcasing the World. And the World represents an ending, but it's usually an ending that we are very happy to have finished. It's like you've wrapped things up, you've finished. It's like the end, you're ready to roll credits at the end of a movie, right? So this is like you finishing a chapter in your life, finishing up a project, finishing up something that had loose ends, and you're ready to finish it up. So whether you are literally at the end of something, a journey, a chapter, a project, a moment, a career, a job, a house you're living in, whatever it is, you might just be at the either literally finishing it at the start of the month, or this could also just represent that the heart of the reading, since this is at the heart of it all, that you're also just finishing up those loose ends, tying off the last bits of contracts, looking to pay your last rent, finishing those last bits of a project, going on the last bit of your travel, whatever it may be. You're finishing it up, those last little bits. And what is showcased next to everything is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles represents someone who is very stable, practical. They want to take the long way around. Most of the knights you would find in a tarot deck are fast moving, they're quick, they're heading on a journey, they're goers, and they're all about action. And the Knight of Pentacles, they are about the practical route. They are going to take action on things, but they're going to take it slowly and methodically. They're going to think it through. There's a habitual nature to them. They like routines, they like practicality. And Virgo season is a perfect time for this, because Virgo seasons are very practical. Virgo people are very practical, and it's a perfect season to do the practical thing. But because you are finishing things off, it makes me wonder what it is that you're putting this energy towards. And because it's kind of hop, skipping, and a jump over here next to the Lovers, I feel like it is connected to the Lovers. Like both of these are like the hats off to it. They're handing out to it. They're reaching out towards this Lovers card. And so the Lovers is all about, a lot of people will think of romance, and you definitely are welcome to. Maybe you're putting in a lot of effort towards your romance, towards romantic relationships in your life, or towards people you really love and care about, whether that is not necessarily finishing things maybe in a negative sense, because I'm not really getting that here, but rather maybe you're finishing things off in terms of a chapter that you just taken with them. But there's that practical nature to a relationship with this, but there's also, if you take away like the relationship side of the Lovers, it also represents choosing things in your life that will bring you joy, will bring you fulfillment, will give you and lead you towards things that you love and you care about and you put a lot of energy towards, because it's something you actually literally care for, right? So there's this feeling too that you're choosing to put those above all else this month. You're choosing the hobbies, the things that get you excited to get out of bed in the morning. You're choosing the people in your life who really bring you love and joy and acceptance and support. You're choosing those paths, the path of love. And it doesn't have to be romantic love. It can be familial love, family love. It can represent love for a craft or love for a skill, love for a hobby or a pet. But whatever that is, you're putting a lot of your energy towards it this month, and also putting a lot of energy towards wrapping up something that is ending and finishing when it comes to a particular chapter in which you are finishing in your life. So that's kind of the energy that you got going on. Practicality, focusing and choosing love, and also finishing up those loose ends. So let's see what else you have going on for your month with a blessing card. So this is going to be looking into a blessing on its way in for you from spirit or a spirit guide, a deity, however you wish. Or you can also see this as a card to showcase an energy most in your favor this month. So let's see what that is for you for September 3. Interesting, you got closure. Makes a lot of sense with what we've already talked about with that wrapping things up, finishing something, finding closure, finishing and closing a door. Again, I'm not getting like a negative sense. Like sometimes when we get the closure card, especially with something around relationships, like you might start leaning towards like finishing a relationship or finding closure, finding that something is ending around relationships and love here. But it just seems so positive. It just seems so optimistic. So if that is happening, at least it's not something that is a negative closure or something that feels forced or put upon you or feels like it has loose ends that you don't like. This is feeling more like you're just like, okay, I want to close the door, I want to finish things up, and I want to open the next door. And that's kind of how it feels. It feels very optimistic, and it feels very like you have a lot of opportunities ahead of you, and it's really, really nice to see. And I'm not just saying that because I want to like pep you guys up. Like it just really feels that way. It feels very practical, ready to move forward, ready to get going, and heading towards something more that you love, more love in your life. This isn't an ending to take away love in your life, but rather to enhance it. So I really, really like that that's coming forward. It could be because this closure isn't ending a relationship, but maybe ending a way in which you viewed a relationship as well. That's just come forward as well, like with that practical nature that's coming forward and those loose ends. Maybe there's some conversations that need to have that you maybe need to have around a relationship in your life in which you are wanting to close the door on specific behaviors, habits, ways in which you talk to a certain person, approach a certain relationship in which might be changing for the better. So that's another way of looking at this as well in a positive sense. So of course, a lot is showing up here around relationships, so we're going to be looking at a relationship card for you. So this is going to look into relationships on a general level, but if you have a specific relationship in your life you want to look into, feel free to send the energy of them in. So group 3, you have persevere, leave no stone unturned. This really is starting to feel like related to a relationship or related to, like I said, you could be choosing love in terms of a lot of different things, but in terms of relationships anyway, there's this feeling of wanting to persevere, wanting to choose this relationship, to choose love above all things. And so maybe there's some practical things, maybe there's some loose ends, maybe there's some behaviors, maybe there's some rituals within your relationship that just aren't working out anymore, and you guys need to have a conversation, maybe get on the same level about something, close the door on something so that you can persevere. Leave no stone unturned. There are some things in which are not being said, and by saying them, it's actually going to help you to strengthen this relationship rather than harm it. So really cool to have that coming forward with everything else. So let's go ahead and pivot towards specifically Virgo season now and pull a Virgo season message. What I like about these cards is they usually give us an opportunity to analyze things, and Virgos are very good at analyzing a situation, journaling about it, the pros, the cons of things. And so I want to look into the practical nature of a card here and see if there's something you could journal about it or focus on. So this is like your Virgo focus, and how maybe you could be changing or analyzing this particular part of your life over the next few weeks for Virgo season. So group 3, you have digest. Perfect, with everything you've had come forward, with the turkey vulture here. And it even has like, I love how this card kind of showcases this surveying feeling, almost like you're surveying a particular relationship in your life to scan out what you need to digest and what needs to be, let go of. So you have digest showing up here with the particular message or question that you could journal on for Virgo season with, what am I cleaning up or converting? And I really want to emphasize the idea that it's not just that you're cleaning up something, but when we digest something, we're converting food into energy. And so what is there something in your life when it comes to relationships, or choosing something that you love and want to go towards and want to persevere in and want to still have in your life, but need to change or convert the way in which you were approaching it before? And that's coming forward here a lot with all of your cards. I don't really want to hammer it home here, so I'm going to go ahead and keep moving forward, but definitely feel free to journal on this particular question or think about the idea of how turkey vultures actually help the environment and digest the things that are, roadkill at the edge of nobody's going to want at the edge of a road. And they digest it and make it better in the long run. So let us see some charms to finish off your reading. This one's going very quick. I don't know why. So I'm curious to see if we get some more information with the charms coming forward. Definitely feel free to send your own energy in and connect with them. Have a little chitter chatter, and I'll pull some for you. Okay, all of them are kind of just chilling in the center here. So let me zoom you in and we'll have a little look. So we have a lot showing up here on the digest side of things, but some falling between closure and digest. You do have the angel wings, which tell me too that this is maybe a closure in which spirit guides that you have been kind of leading you towards, with some breadcrumbs kind of trying to help push you towards this closure. There's also a bit of risk involved, and you also have the number 12, which can represent 12 months of the year, the 12th particularly, or the 11th being very important. Maybe the closure may not fully happen, like I said, with those loose ends. It may not fully happen until the end of the year, but there is this feeling of where you're feeling a bit of risk around this closure, that once you do close that door, you can't open it back up. And so yes, there is some risk involved, but that risk can also have great reward. And so that's coming forward here too, almost like they're trying to lead you there, and 12 also can represent 6 and 6, which is double harmony. So it also is trying to find harmony between two. You also have over here on digest the chain here, and the chain is falling on their vision, which tells me that your vision is quite clouded. Maybe you have a lot of tunnel vision. Maybe the things that you're trying to find closure within are related to career or to something, because it's gold, makes me think of finances, something with career or finances, or something that's very practical within the relationship. So maybe the love is very good, but there's a practical side of the relationship that's kind of lacking or needing help within, that you're not seeing, or you're going to be opening your eye to, digesting and looking at within this coming Virgo season. And then you also have the number 11, which again can relate to November, December here with the 12th and the 11th. But 11 also is a number of wishes and wish making and wishful thinking. And that's showing up here as well. Like maybe you're making a wish, or you're wanting to clean up the idea that like if you continue to wish and try to wish and will something within the relationship, it's probably just not going to work because there's a practical reason or a practical solution that is needed. But those are all the charms and cards that I have for you. I feel like I went so fast with your guys' reading. Sometimes that's just how it goes. So do let me know what you thought of this reading by giving this video a like and letting me know in the comments down below. I haven't seen most of you guys for a few weeks, so it would really help me out if you guys could pop up the algorithm a little bit by giving the like or commenting. But I'd also just love to hear how you guys are doing. And also, if you are interested in subscribing to the channel, I put out new readings, hopefully now, moving forward with the flood situation every single Monday, but we'll see, it is still ongoing. But I also have lots of different videos that you can go ahead and check out that are timeless on the channel, and also a bunch that are educational that you can check out for charm casting and art magic. And if you're interested in going beyond subscribing and looking into getting your own personal private reading with a snail mail reading, or by helping out this channel a little bit more by sending in a Kindred tip through the Kindred tip jar, then definitely feel free to check all of that out down below alongside more offerings that I have over on my Instagram. So with that all said, thank you so much for being here with me today. Truly, it's very lovely to have you guys back, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.